Thank you for watching this Last Mile Profits video. InPost is going Dutch. Keep watching to find out more.
Last Mile Profits is brought to you by Parcel Pending by Quadient.
Gary, I was looking at the industry press recently, and it turns out that Rafał Brzoska, for those of you not in the know, CEO of InPost, announced that they're going to be launching lockers in the Netherlands. Well, take on that.
Well, my take on it is that if we fast forward 2 or 3 years, it'd be easy to sit and list the countries where InPost haven't taken a stand and haven't started to deploy large volumes of lockers. I mean, it's not that a massive market compared to some of their neighbours, but it's a pretty key market for anybody who wants to do cross-European trade. So it sounds like a pretty smart move. What about carrier, though? What are they doing for that? Do you know? Who's going to be the carrier? Are they building a carrier as well, or are they partnering? What do you really know about the structure of it?
If I remember correctly, they have a bit of what is Mondial Relay in Belgium already. So theoretically, they could use or leverage that infrastructure. They could always do a partnership, so I don't know. They do carry parcels throughout Europe. So in terms of the big picture, they're going to have the line hauls there. Point in case, I just sent another parcel from Poland to Spain. So, it has to go through there. I've got a different concern, though, because while it makes a lot of sense, they've put a lot of effort into developing the UK, and we'll talk about that in a minute because that's, I think, part of the challenge that they're going to face. They're developing in France, they're developing in Italy, they're developing in Spain, they're developing in Portugal, they're developing in Belgium, I think. They're developing or seeking to hold on a strong position in Poland. So a lot of places where they're doing things. And the question is this, is that perhaps not a bridge too far, given particularly the issues in the UK?
Well, if you add to that the kind of somewhat speculation about them eyeing across the Atlantic of the US market as well, I mean, that's beyond a bridge too far. That's the size of Europe again. So you're right, there could be some management stretch here, maintaining the level of quality leadership they need to be as spread across multiple territories. That could be a concern as well.
I mean, for me, it makes a lot of sense in terms of the logic. They've got a really strong position in Poland. They've got a pretty strong position in France. Benelux is right in the middle. Of course, the big gaping black hole, as I've said frequently in the past, is Germany, where they have nothing.
Yeah, black, red, and yellow hole, I suppose, is the way to describe it.
What? Red?
Flags of the world, Marek, come on.
So the black, yellow, and red hole. And I'd have thought that would have been a priority, particularly, the elephant in the room is the UK. And guess which name I'm going to mention in a second, or maybe you might.
Name of a person or of a company?
A company.
Well, every, I guess.
No. I know every's top of mind for some people right now, but for me, it would be Yodel. So, they...
Well, I've got an update on that. So my understanding is that they're sorting it out. So, yeah, so I'm hearing positive things that InPost have taken the Yodel by the scruff of the neck a little bit and are absolutely prioritizing out of home over home delivery. So at hub level, at depot level, they're pushing parcels through at pace to get them into lockers and to get them into out of home, to feed Collect Plus and to feed the lockers, possibly to the detriment of home delivery, is what I'm, sort of unofficially hearing is the strategy. And that has turned things around a little bit in terms of the integration.
And that's a gutsy move. And it makes an awful lot of sense because these guys are, in my view, the kings of lockers.
We had this conversation a year ago, and I made the point that I might not have, if I was running apologies, if I was running InPost in the UK, I probably wouldn't have gone for Menzies, which isn't a parcel company. I would have gone for Yodel in the first place. Now, it is a challenging business. It loses money every time it touches a parcel. We've been very rude about Yodel in the past, very positive about Mike Hancock's effort to keep them afloat, which he did a sterling job. But it seemed obvious that in a crowded home delivery market where the 190 million parcels that I believe Yodel have looks small now, why bother? They've got 300 great retailer relationships feeding into Collect Plus. Why not throw your eggs into the out-of-home market completely and convert Yodel into the in-house bespoke carrier for InPost out-of-home delivery into lockers and Collect Plus shops? It's what I would have done 2 years ago. And I think, through a winding route, it seems to be where they're going.
Well, look, it makes a lot of sense. Let's not completely lose track of the topic for today. I think, given what you said, this warrants a whole video. And dear viewers, watch this space. It's coming. But for now, to come back then to the Netherlands, would it be fair to say, I think it's a good summary, that it makes a lot of sense in terms of the location for the completeness of the network. The big, what was it, black, orange, and
Black, yellow, and red.
black, yellow, and red hole next door.
Bizarrely, I think it's the same colours. No, it's not the same colour as the Belgian flag, is it? No, it is. No, it's the Belgian flag. Maybe they got confused.
But I think it's different. It's more gold. The German one's more gold. I thought it was gold, red, and black.
Incredibly, move on from this and allow somebody that's actually knowledgeable to correct us down below, I think.
Yeah, please. So, dear viewers, if there's someone who's good on the German flag, maybe let us know, gold or yellow. Let's see, Gary, who's right on this one. But I think, in terms of issues, this is going to be the one to look out for. What's going to happen in Germany? I have one clue, and this is pure speculation, but I don't know if you saw that InPost announced somewhere that they're doing something with Austrian Post in, I think it was Southeast Europe. Maybe this is a place for partnership, because there's only one player that really dominates that market.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Austria Post are incredibly successful outside of Austria, actually. They've got huge market share in, I think, 8, 9 other countries. All what was the Ottoman Empire at one point, I believe, is the inappropriate way to refer to it. But yeah, they might have withdrawn back to Trieste, but they've left lockers behind.
Well, I think the Austrians might get a bit upset if we call it the Ottoman Empire. I'd call it the KUK, Kaiserlich Empire, which is the old Austrian Empire, which actually covers most of the countries, with the exception of one country where they have a really strong position, which suits the Ottoman Empire more, which is Turkey, because they bought quite a big business there. So yeah, they are very strong. So maybe then, to summarize, Netherlands makes sense, but is it the priority right now? Have they been able to get their house in order in other places, particularly the UK, maybe, and that could be a topic for a future episode. But I think the other one, the big question, the elephant in the room, my latest favorite saying, is, the, what was it? Gold, black, red country. Let's see. Great to have your comments, dear viewers, because you may have an opinion. You might think we're talking absolute poppycock. Or you may say, hold on, guys, there's method in your madness. Looking forward to your comments. Gary, as usual, great talking today.
Great talking to you, Marek. Thank you.
Gary, I was looking at the subscriptions and realized that a huge number of our audience actually don't subscribe to watch our videos.
Really? That's outrageous. It's a bit like watching the BBC without your TV license. How can we keep it free if people aren't subscribing and letting us know they want more of this content? It's ridiculous.
And on top of that, if they're not subscribed, they don't get information about the latest hot episode where you can make one of your witty jokes and we can talk about something that is really important for our industry.
If I knew that a single act like that would make sure I got maximum time taking the mickey out of you, I'd be hitting subscribe in a heartbeat.
Well, look, so here we have it. Please, everyone, if you haven't subscribed yet, this is your opportunity. Click right now. The button should be there, or maybe there. Do it now and have it done.